James, I was scrolling through my phone this morning before I even got out of bed, which is a terrible habit, I know, but I saw all these study influencers talking about their 5-hour morning routines. You know the ones. They've got like color-coded notebooks and 3 different highlighters for their grammar practice at 5 a.m. And I couldn't help but think how much I'd hate my life if that was me. Welcome back to the Natural English Talk podcast, everyone. I'm Anna, and I'm joined by James, who I suspect does not have color-coded notebooks.
Man, you hit the nail on the head. My notebooks, if I can even find one, are usually covered in coffee stains and like random grocery lists. But hey, before we get into how we actually use English in the morning without, wanting to pull our hair out, I just want to say something to the folks listening. Look, if you're listening to this and you're feeling guilty because you didn't study today, just stop. Seriously, relax. This podcast right here, this is your safety contract. You don't need a pen, you don't need a dictionary, just let us talk in your ear while you're making your coffee or whatever. If you catch 40% of what we say, cool. If you catch 90%, also cool. Just be here with us, okay? No pressure.
Exactly. Consider this your permission slip to stop studying for a bit and just start living in the language. Because honestly, James, I feel like the second you label something as study, your brain it kind of puts up this wall of resistance. It's like when you tell a kid they have to eat their broccoli. Suddenly, they're not hungry anymore. But if you if you just have the English there in the background of your life, it's a total game changer.
Oh, 100%. I have this thing I do every single morning. It's kind of weird, actually. I don't think I've told anyone this, but as soon as I wake up and I'm stumbling around the kitchen trying not to trip over the cat, I talk to myself. But I don't just talk, I narrate my life like I'm in a movie. I'll be like, and here we see James in his natural habitat, desperately searching for the clean mugs. It sounds crazy, right? But I'm doing it in my head, or sometimes out loud if the neighbors aren't listening, and it's all in English. I'm not practicing, I'm just being me, but in another language.
The James movie narrator method. I love it. But that's actually a real thing, though. It's about building that direct connection between your actions and the words without that middleman of translation in your head. I do something similar, but way more, I guess, analytical. Like, I'll listen to a quick news snippet or a weirdly specific podcast while I'm doing my makeup. I'm not sitting there taking notes on the past perfect tense. I'm wondering if the news anchor is actually wearing pajama pants under that desk.
Pajama pants under the desk. Man, I'd bet my car that 90% of them are doing that since the whole remote work thing started. But anyway, back to the point, the narrating thing, right? People always ask me, James, how do I find the time? And I'm just like, what do you mean find time? You're already awake, aren't you? You're already brushing your teeth. I have this theory. I think we've been lied to. We've been told that to learn, you have to be sitting at a desk in a quiet room with a glass of water and a focused mind. But my life is never quiet. My mind is never focused. If I waited for the perfect moment to practice, I'd never say a word.
Yeah, totally. That's the classroom hangover, right? We think if we're not suffering a little bit, it doesn't count. But for sure, the best way to get it to stick is to tie it to things you're already doing. Like for me, it's the phone rule. A few years ago, I switched my phone's entire interface to English. And let me tell you, the first week though, it was a nightmare. I almost deleted my entire photo library just trying to find the settings. But now, I don't even see it as English anymore. It's just my phone.
Oh man, I'd tried that once with my GPS while I was driving to a wedding in a city I didn't know. Worst mistake ever. The lady's voice was so calm, in 300 meters, turn left. And I'm there screaming, what is a meter? Give me miles. But you're right, it forces you to stop translating. You stop thinking, okay, ajustes means settings, and you just start recognizing the icon, and the word is the same thing. It's like how you don't study how to use a fork. You just use the fork until you don't drop the food anymore.
Exactly. It's about immersion without the plane ticket. Another thing I do, and this is going to sound so nerdy, is I read the labels on my shampoo bottles or my cereal boxes if they have English on them. I'll be standing in the shower and I'm like, oh, invigorating scent. That's a cool word. I'm not looking it up in a dictionary. I'm just I'm smelling the soap and seeing the word. It's sensory, you know? It's not just abstract squiggles on a page, it's real.
Invigorating. That's a fancy one. I usually just go for the one that says 3-in-1, shampoo, conditioner, and floor cleaner. But no, seriously, it's that low stakes stuff. If you're at a desk, your brain is like danger, learning alert, and it gets all tense. But if you're just, scrolling through Reddit or watching a 30-second clip of a guy making a giant sandwich in New York, your brain is relaxed. It's open. You're picking up slang, you're picking up the rhythm of how people actually talk, like how they say gonna or how they trail off at the end of a sentence. That's the stuff they never teach you in those color-coded notebooks.
It's so true about the learning alert. It's like your brain has a security guard that blocks anything that feels too much like a chore. But if you sneak the English in through a side door, like a TikTok video of a guy building a shed or a makeup tutorial, the guard is just like, oh, this is just entertainment. Come on in. I've been obsessed lately with these what's in my bag videos. It's the most mindless stuff ever, but the language is so incredibly specific and casual.
What's in my bag, really? Man, I'll never understand that. But I get the point. For me, it's sports commentary. I'll have the highlights from the NBA playing while I'm eating my eggs. And the thing is, those announcers, they talk fast. I mean, lightning fast. At first, it just sounded like a bunch of noise, honestly. I was actually getting frustrated. But I kept doing it every morning, and eventually my ears they adjusted. It's like your brain finally figures out where one word ends and the next one begins. You don't learn the word, you just start hearing it.
Yeah, it's that ear training thing. People think they have a vocabulary problem, but usually they just have a speed problem. Their brain knows the word on paper, but it doesn't recognize it at 100 miles per hour with a Brooklyn accent. And that's why the morning is so perfect. You're kind of in that theta state, right? You're half awake, your ego isn't fully online yet, so you aren't judging yourself. You're just absorbing. It's like a sponge. If you put a sponge in a bucket of water, it doesn't try to get wet. It just happens.
The sponge state, I like that. I'm definitely a very sleepy sponge at 7 a.m. But you know what else I do? I started leaving voice notes for myself. Like, instead of writing a to-do list, which I'll just lose anyway, I'll open a private WhatsApp group where it's just me, and I'll record a quick 30-second blast. Okay, James, you gotta call the mechanic, and don't forget to buy more of that weird floor cleaner shampoo. All in English. And the first time I heard my own voice back, man, I hated it. I sounded so, I don't know, not like the guy in my head.
Oh, everyone hates their own recorded voice. That's a universal human law. But that's such a good hack, though, because when you're talking to a phone, the social anxiety we talked about last time, it's gone. The phone isn't going to judge your pronunciation. It isn't going to roll its eyes if you use the wrong preposition. It's just a tool. It's like practicing your swing in the backyard before you get to the actual baseball game. You're building the muscle memory of actually moving your mouth and making those sounds.
Exactly. My mouth, it actually feels tired sometimes, like I've been at the gym, because English uses all these weird muscles that I don't use otherwise. All those th sounds and the r sounds. It's a workout. If I don't do that warm-up in the morning, then the first time I have to speak to a real person at like 2 p.m., I'm all stiff. I'm like a rusty gate trying to open. But if I've been narrating my coffee making and talking to my phone, the gate is already oiled up and ready to swing.
The rusty gate, that's exactly it. I feel like my jaw is literally made of stone until I've had my first conversation. But you know what's a huge part of my morning now? It's social media, but not in the scrolling through my ex's vacation photos way. I've basically curated my whole feed to be in English. I follow these, I don't even know what you'd call them, niche creators? People who talk about like indoor plants or weird history facts. And I'll actually leave a comment. Just one, like, wow, I didn't know that about ferns or whatever.
No way. You actually comment? Man, I'm always too scared to do that. I'm like, what if I make a typo and the grammar police come for me? You know how the internet is. You miss one apostrophe and people act like you've committed a crime against humanity. I usually just lurk. I'm a professional lurker. I read everything. I like the post, but I stay in the shadows.
Oh, I totally get that. The internet can be a dark place. But see, that's the thing. If you follow the right communities, like the plant people, they're the nicest people on earth. They don't care about your grammar, they just want to talk about dirt and sunlight. And for me, writing that one sentence is it's like a mini activation. It's moving from passive listening to active production. It's like, okay, I have a thought, I'm going to put it into words, and I'm going to hit post. It takes 5 seconds, but it gives me this little hit of dopamine. Like, hey, I just communicated with a stranger in another language before I even brushed my hair.
Nods. That's a really good point. The dopamine hit. I think I do that with podcasts, actually, but in a different way. I'll be listening to some guy talk about, I don't know, how to build a deck or something, and I'll talk back to him. Like he'll say something like, "Now you don't want to use cheap wood for this," and I'll be like, "Yeah, no kidding, Greg. That's how the whole thing collapses." It's like I'm having a one-sided conversation while I'm flipping my pancakes. My dog thinks I'm losing my mind, but honestly, it's just me keeping the English part of my brain warm.
No kidding, Greg. I love that. But honestly, James, that's a legit technique. It's called shadowing or echoing, but you're doing the sassy version where you add your own opinion. It's brilliant because you're not just repeating words like a parrot, you're reacting, you're being you. And that's the secret sauce, right? If you can be your sassy, pancake flipping self in English, then the language isn't a barrier anymore. It's just a tool you're using to tell Greg he's right about the wood.
Exactly. And it's so much more fun than like, repeat after me. The book is on the table, like in a robotic voice. Like, who cares about the book? I want to talk about the deck. I want to talk about why my coffee tastes like burnt toast. When you connect the language to your actual real life frustrations or interests, it just sticks. It's like it gets tattooed on your brain instead of just being written in pencil.
Tattooed on your brain? I'm totally picturing your brain covered in tattoos of coffee cups and wooden decks now. But honestly, James, as much as we're joking around, there's a real power in this messy approach. People think they need to do these massive 2-hour study sessions once a week, but that's like watering a plant with a fire hose once a month. It's just going to die, right? You need the little sprinkles every morning, the narrating, the Greg talking, the cereal box reading. It adds up.
Oh, for sure. It's the compound effect, man. I've been doing this weird non-study routine for what, a year now? And I look back at how I was talking last year and I'm like, who was that guy? I used to have to like manually assemble every sentence in my head like it was a piece of IKEA furniture, you know, looking at the instructions, getting frustrated, having leftover screws. But now the sentences they just show up. I don't even think about the grammar anymore. I just think about the idea and the words they just fall into place. It's not magic, it's just that I've kept the engine running every single morning.
IKEA furniture sentences. James, you're on fire with the analogies today. But it's so true. The goal is to get the language out of the academic part of your brain and into the automatic part. And that only happens through frequency, not intensity. So if you're listening to this and you've got 5 minutes while you're waiting for the microwave or you're stuck in a boring commute, that's your time. That's your English moment. Don't wait for a desk and a quiet room. Use the chaos.
Yeah, embrace the chaos, guys, seriously. Talk to your dog, talk to your cat, talk to the guy on the radio who can't hear you. Make it weird. The weirder it is, the more you're going to remember it. And hey, if you feel like an idiot, good. That means you're doing it right. Every time I felt like an idiot was right before I actually got better at something. So just keep at it. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good enough for today.
I love that. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. That's a wrap on our morning routine talk. We really hope this gives you some ideas for your own non-study habits. Just remember, you don't have to be a student to be a learner. You just have to be curious.
Exactly. Keep it real, keep it messy, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode. I'm going to go find some of that 3-in-1 floor cleaner shampoo now. Later.